Another video by Adam the Great 4K, and today I'm going to be showing you what settings you need on your nitrado server and what they mean. And I've played around with it a bit and now I'm quite happy with my setup. So firstly you need to get yourself a nitrado setup and pay, I think it's about £1 a slot on Arc. So if you have 10 members, it's usually about 8-10 British pounds. I've got a 32 server at the moment and it's costing me about 30. So here is the main dashboard, which is on the website, and you can restart and stop your server here, and then you've got all your settings, backup, all that type of stuff. Let's turn that down a bit. You can restore your game and do all sorts, player control, cross arc. But today I'm going to be showing you general settings of my arc and what they mean. So let's have a look. Now before I do this, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. So here's my server. You can search for the settings at the top here. And you can start with expert mode, which is for the real hardcore Arc players, but I don't play on that. But basically it's just really hard. You know, you die and you just have to start again. It's that type of thing, so it's very difficult. So the base settings, your server name, you can put a message of the day, and then that's how long the message is. You can have your server password here if you have one. I haven't got one on mine. And your admin password. Here you select your map name, so whichever map you're doing. And language, English obviously. Restart countdown, so whenever you change your settings and then you save them here, you need to restart the server for those changes to take effect. Gameplay log, don't worry about that. Active event, well, you can change that as well on your server, so whichever one. There's been quite a few now. I just have it on the current official event, so it just goes with whatever's going on. Non-user, if you want to go into spectator mode and go around the map and, you know, enjoy. This increases the performance of the server apparently. Where there's large amounts of creatures and items in certain areas. So till my server's built up, hopefully, which it will, there's not much point having that on. No anti-meshing, so that means that you can't sort of mesh structures into terrain, and also you can't do this here, which is the no anti-mesh kill system. So I've put that on because obviously you don't want people using wyverns poking their heads through your walls and killing you. So definitely need that ticked. So that you can turn off actually. I haven't actually turned that off. Just make, you know, if you don't want the cryo sickness effect, then you leave that off. Then you have the cryo sickness debuff. This reduces damage to teams, players, structures and short duration of time after the player has released the dino from the cryo pod. Well, I just keep that on 1-1, just keep it the same, but you can change that. So as you can see, 0.01. If you want to really make it so there's no damage done to your dino when you throw them out, until they're, you know, cured of cryo sickness. The primitive part is, you know, completely again different, whole ballpark, different game. You just basically with that, it's just all primitive stuff, so you don't get metal. It's all stone, thatch, wood type thing. Genesis, well, that speaks for itself. So if you have got a Genesis map, you've got the missions, tech suits, building and mission area, so you can put all that on. Start with a backup, so once you start your server, you will nitrado will automatically save all your games different times throughout days, and then going on days and days. Usually it looks like it backs up about 5-6 days. This part is if you're designing a map, so that we won't look at that. You can make your own map, which is cool, but it takes up a lot of sort of lag, a lot of lag if you do that on your servers, depending on what you have. I'm on the Xbox One X, so I don't know, but if you've got a high-end gaming PC, that'll be fine to design your own map. Admin log, so just, can the rest of the server see the admin's log, and if you're putting commands in and cheats, the rest of your admins can see what you're doing. And then activate the tribe log, so that's all self-explanatory. Restrictions, they're all self-explanatory really. So if you want to prevent people bringing their dinos and their survivors to your game and have to start again. So that's what I've got here. Random supply crates, high damage from so damage to structures from tribes. But if you kill and raid tribes, then we'll see obviously if you kill their dinos or them. Gameplay. So you can change on mine your tribe name every 15 minutes. You've got to have flying inside caves and flying creatures and crosshair, third person, you want all that. Don't want hardcore. So if you do want hardcore, your character will be wiped to level 1 if you die. So this just enables people to join in and leave in and stuff on your server. And then you can have all the floating names and, well, if you want to disable them. Show players on the map, so that's the marker for you when you look at your map. So that's that. So you can set that if you like, and that will anyone who's talking on the game, everyone will hear it. So you don't want that on really, especially if you're sneaking up trying to kill someone. So it gets a bit more technical now. So difficulty offset. Now this one here, the top one, that is 100. So the difficulty offset is the lowest. So lowest level dino you'll get, and this one is the highest. But 6 doesn't mean 600 and 1 doesn't mean 100 so much, as I found out, as the highest levels we get are up to about 180 at the moment, so that's good levels. If you were to put that to 8, you'd probably be at like 320, and obviously you can put that to 0.5, but it's completely up to you on that one. But I find that 1 and 6 is good because you get, obviously you do get a few level 20s, you get some 60s, 120s, 100s, so on and so forth, up to 180. Now, maximum structure count. So, how many structures you can build in the area making your base. So, I found I have not gone over that, and I probably never will. 1600 is more than enough. Day cycle speed scale. I've set that at that, so it's daytime for longer. So 0.5 is what you want to do there, really, for a nice long day. And then 2 seems to be okay for your nighttime scale. So the lower the amount on that, the longer the day, and then the higher the amount on that, the shorter the night or the day. And then that's the full time of the day there. So a slow day at 0.5. Some of the things on this are confusing when you do it. You have to learn, because sometimes less is more and more is less. But I'll show you that. Can be attained by acting as option. So no disproportionate harvest. That's quite obvious what that is. You don't get too much or too little for any tool, high or low sort of thing. You can put that on to destroy all swamp creatures, but this sounds more like it's Genesis related there. So you can respawn once you destroy all wild dinos. You can force respawn dinos. That's if you change the levels and stuff. So you just, kill all dinos, as you'll find in other videos. Something like admin cheat, kill dinos, and then you can spawn in your new levels for that. I have all item containers lockable, just because it's a safety thing, and if they want, if people want things, you want it to be as hard as possible. You don't want to just walk up to your smithy and get your stuff. So I have that ticked. Allow spike walls to damage wild. Yeah, so that needs actually to be on there, because I noticed that actually my dinos and me were not getting hit by my spikes, so you need that to be on. Okay. You want loot crates, so obviously that stays on. Hard limit turrets in range. If you go over this limit, it'll shut down. If you go below the limit, so this is just the range of the 100 turrets in a certain range. Creative mode, that's if you want to fly around and invade people's privacy, I suppose. You know what that is. This is if you want offline raiding to be disabled, and that's the timer. So 5 seconds is the timer at the moment. So you get, as soon as you log out, basically someone's got 5 seconds to raid you, so it's not going to happen. So you want that really at 5. That's the lowest thing you can have. I have this on because it's just cool. Just shows you the damage done and taken by dinos, 2 dinos from players, etc. Okay, so use this to disable imprinting player stat bonus. Whoever imprinted the dino and raised it to have imprinting quality. So I've turned that. Is that use this to disable? Yeah, I've turned that on as a tick because I can imprint my tribe's dinos instead of them having, if they can't get on, I can do it for them. So it's always handy to have that ticked. And the same with anyone can imprint baby. Override destruction platform prevention. So this just means that you can have your turrets and structures on, like some of your big dinos like Brontos with a saddle. Nice base on your saddles of your Paracephariums or whatever. So you can't, I've put that on as a tick because you do not want people to be building in areas where there's loads of metal or crystal, because it obviously stops the nodes from growing. This, obviously I put this on because obviously everyone knows swamp fever is annoying, and a couple of other things, so that's on, so you only have it until you die, because obviously you would anyway, wouldn't you, if you died. Actually disable all diseases on the server, but I've left that off because obviously gotta have a bit of realism. That needs to be off, just so you can have alliances with people. So with this, if you're raided and you're still taming your dino, and you're dead and they're on, and they can basically take over and tame your dinos that have been raised. So have that on so they can't nick them that way. And, yeah. Hit markers, so whenever you hit with trank dart, say a dino or whatever, and you know you've hit it, it's always good to have that you always want fish loot, because fish, you can get some good stuff, so obviously leave that unticked because that disables it if it's ticked. Tribe log destroyed enemy structure. So in the tribe log, if your floor foundations are destroyed, obviously you don't want you don't want all that information because you don't really need it. Unsnapped structures, so people that have left stuff and not coming back or whatever, just gets rid of it. That I've left off because obviously if you throw a C4 on someone's wyvern or quetzal, realistically they're not going to be grounded, are they? So that will destroy all warp pipes here that are disconnected over a short space of time. That will basically mean that your drops will just basically go anywhere. It can be quite hard to get, so leave that off so it puts them in places where you can get them easier, especially for the new players. This one here, if you want to destroy your structure under certain conditions, you can select this and just specify why you want the structures to be taken off. That destroys decayed dinos on startup, so any dinos that are dead lying around for like an hour or two that are just slowing the server down. This is the maximum amount of dinos you can have in your tribe, so I've set that at 600 because that seems to be a good go-to. This I've set all stamina recovery, allow stamina recovery, so when you're not sprinting with a flyer, when you're just gliding or whatever, stamina goes up very slowly. Definitely want that on. I've left that off because obviously with raiding and stuff, somebody throws 20 C4 and goes for your wall or something, you're screwed. So yeah, that's off. So it's just down to 1 C4 there. This one, so on a platform saddle you can put multiple, walls and walls and floors and floors, so you haven't got just, usually I think it's about 10 items, so it's not enough, especially if you're making like I just made a big Parasiferium turret tower type thing. This one means so you can have unlimited sort of glitching floors into each other, and you can have like 50 metal spikes one on top of each other, so you need that on. That will just speed up the server slightly, it says, but I don't think it makes much difference if you have it on or off. Corpse locator, you need that on because if you die you get a big green line and then you can get your stuff back. This one definitely need on, so you can just clip things into like rocks that can't be broken in the game, so definitely leave that on. Single player settings, well that's up to you if you want to use what you've got on your single player. That I've left off because although it says it may increase the performance of the server, it decreases the chance of getting rare items, so it's not worth it. This one here, clamp all spawning times to the items maximum, so yeah, you want that on for like your meat in your fridge and stuff will last longer, spoiled meat, kibble, etc. You can actually modify the all this here, you can see your insulation, your damage, your everything there. That's another, if you tick that, it will take you down the bottom for some more settings, but I just left that off for Xbox. Any idle players will be kicked. I think it's probably about half an hour to an hour if they're just sat there not doing anything, and there you go. So that's that. Anti-speed hack detection, so people can't basically hack and use the code to cheat. No biome walls, that's Genesis. If you want Genesis. I had a Genesis server and I didn't find that worked, so kind of a waste of time, that setting. So this one is when you're downloading your dynos from other servers. Just keep that on 0. Or I think you can actually speed that up, but to be honest I don't really do the download site. I'll just keep that 0. Only destroy auto core structures, so that will destroy if you have an auto destroy down server. So again, just leave that ticked as it is. You can do this here. 0 just default. Set it to 2 or 4. It just speeds up the respawn of wild dinos if you delete them all. Again, this one, and snap core structure are useful for the same name, pillar foundation spell. So that one, people put pillars all around their base, all around, so you can't make a little base when you're raiding. They will decay. Those pillars will decay. So really, for me, if I'm trying to protect my base, I'd want that off really, but I'll leave it on for now. Max number of players in the tribe. All this time is dino exploration, tribute item, all that stuff. Just keep that set as it is. I've found that is fine. Limit your turrets to a range, or you can take it off and then you can just build turrets everywhere. And that's the standard radius range, 10,000, which is equivalent to 33 foundations. So put that to 20, and obviously that's 66. So leave that at 100. But I mean, you can have whatever you want. You can have 500, whatever. 5,000, that's a bit too much. 500, and that will slow your server down most likely if you have that. So I just leave it at 100, unless I mean, I've probably got about 20 turrets at the moment, maybe a bit more. I'm not going to go over the PvE because PvE is just stupid. Not for me. Right. Let me just take a little drink quickly. Better. Right. Dino damage. So obviously that is the multiplier damage from wild dinosaurs. So keep that at 1, I would. Just so it's just default. The player damage. So your character's damage amounts to dinosaurs and other players. Structure damage multiplier, just the damage done to if you raid in and whatever, you put that up, then 1 C4 is like 10 C4 if you put that up. So higher amounts for these 3 here, obviously mean what they say they are higher. Excuse me. Auto destroy of old structures. So keep that at 1, fine, that's fine. Your resistance, I've kept that at 0.8 just to give you a little bit of, when you start up, you know, like if you're cold or getting attacked, it gives you a bit more resistance, dinos. If you had that at 2, obviously you wouldn't have as much resistance, so that needs to be 0.5 or 1. Your dino's resistance, I've kept that at 1. Again, higher is actually less and lower is more, so if you want to do your dino to have really good resistance, then you just literally put 0.2. Structure resistance, that's your base, so I've just kept that at 1 to be fair. The XP multipliers, I keep most of them at 2 because you don't want to level up too fast and ruin the game. Taming speed 8. Again, if you want ridiculous speed with taming, put that to like 30. Or if you want it to be, you know, fairly good, I'd say 5. I'll just put it at 8, and that seems to be quite good. Harvesting multiplier just defines how much you get. So you hit a piece of metal at 1, and you usually will get, well, I don't know, say really good gold, or you'd get 200 metal at 1. If you set it to 4, maybe more, you get more like 600-700. So I keep that at 4 because obviously harvesting takes a lot of time, and I think 4 is fair. If you put that at say 0.2, you'll be there for hitting a gold rock, and you'll get more because the health is higher. With that health heightness is that, so again lower is more again, so if you want it at 0.2 you'll be there for a while hitting it. I have it at 0.8 I think it was, and that seems pretty good, fairly quick with the harvesting there. That's the water drain, so if you're in a hot area obviously you're going to want to set that because it is annoying, to 0.2 if you're in the desert. But I'm in the swamp area, and well, one of my bases, and 0.8 is very good for that, I'd say. Same with the starvation. 1 is obviously the default, so that's pretty good. Dino hunger, now I am going to put this down because I've got a lot of tames, and feeding them all the time, filling up the troughs is quite annoying. So I put that at 0.5 or 0.2. I'm going to change that. Stamina multiplier, so again how quickly your dino stamina drains, so 0.5 if you want to go OT, or OTT would be 0.2 on that. Stamina again draining, this is of the player though, so I have it at 0.8. Again, less is more, so if you wanted ridiculous stamina that never goes, 0.2. If you want it to be fairly realistic, 1 or 0.8. Regeneration, this is the natural generation of your player, so I put that at 2, so it's like twice as quick to regenerate. So if it was slower on that one, it would be like 0.2. So about 2. Player harvesting damage, so this is basically the speed of how you know when you're hitting stuff. Flint, stone, wood, it's just the speed of it. So if you wanted to just literally hit something once and got it all but you're overweight, put it at 10. But I find that 6 is a good number there. This is the natural health covering of your dino, so actually I'd put that at 2. Again, there's a few things that I need to change myself, there always is on this game. You find as you play it, continue. Dino count multiplier, this is the amount of dinos, so default is 1, and then you get just sort of, I don't know, say within 100 floor foundations you'd probably only get 1 dino. But if you do 5, you get more like 5 in that area. But you need that because you need the meat, you need to tame stuff. If you've got lots of players, they all need stuff as well. DK multiplier, that's just the point of where basically I'll read it out. Globally multiply the number of days or PvE structures to decay to the point where other players can dismantle them. Well, again, that's PvE. Resource spawn multiplier. So this one, lower values again mean that like metal ores and nodes, whatever they're called, will respawn faster. So you need that. If you wanted to literally hit some gold, and then 2 minutes later it's there again, 0.2. Regrown structures, so that's the distance around your base that things can grow, like plants and trees and that. 1's default, gives you a bit of room. If you wanted a bit of cover for your base, maybe leave it on 0.5 with trees and plants. Regrow multiplier. That is again the radius around your base, which resources can't spawn. So again, 0.8 is a good number for that. This is the value that the speed of dino is marked as unclaimed. Higher value is slower. So any players that have left the server that you want to claim them, if you put that at like 0.2, you could literally claim them within like 2 hours. This is the amount, again, the amount of objects. It's a multiplier. So 10 would be like 50, 100 items on platform saddle. Leg interval multiplier. So if you had like 10 there, you'd be waiting like 10 days to get eggs. 0.2, you get your eggs and your babies a lot quicker. On this one, I'll just put this music back on. There we go. Dino turret damage multiplier. So just keep that at 1 to be fair, because your turrets you can put them at 10 and do some real damage to people. That wouldn't be fair. That's the amount and the speed that your the speed that your dinos collect, whatever they're collecting, trees or whatever. So yeah, keep that about 6. It's a good number. Custom recipe effectiveness. So when you make kibble, chili, whatever you're making, it's how much you get for that. So 4 would give you 4 of them. 1 would give you 1. And then that is XP for your character, which I've got at 4x, so making kibble and stuff. Mating multiplier. So as you can see, time between 2 pregnancies, you want that at 0.2 so that you can breed fast. Your egg hatch speed, well, you could set that at 30 if you wanted to. Or, you know, you throw the egg in the breeding room and you've got it. But 15 is pretty good. It's only about 5 minutes. Again, all these 2s here are at 2 times the amount of a normal server. So that's, if I kill a player, I get 2 times as much. If I harvest an item, 2 times as much. If I craft anything, 2. Special events at 2, and just general amount of space of time at 2. Keep them all at 2, but if you want to just level up to whatever quick, you know, if you put that at 10, I just found that if I had it at too high, it ruins the game a bit. Gives you more playing time if you leave it at like 2. The quality of your loot, of the drops, so 10 is a good number, but I found between the difference between 10 and 20 is nothing. 10 is what you want now. Obviously 20 is obviously higher. Same with the fishing loot, leave that at 10. Your growth speed of your crops, 4 seems pretty good. It's probably like 4 hours, something like that. Put your fertiliser on your crop and your seeds and stuff. So you could have that with that higher is more. So if you wanted your crops to be done in like half an hour, just put it at like 20 or something. So if you set this again, this is higher, it's more. You could put 100 fuel in a Jenny and it would last a long time. But 1 is default, 10 is like a long time. This is how quickly your crops decay in your crop pot. So high number decreases that, so obviously 4 is pretty good. You know, your plants are there for a good day or 2 after. Hair growth speed, well, that speaks for itself. Just put 10 if you want to an afro within 2 minutes. Oxygen, swim speed. This is just your swim speed and how much your oxygen lasts. So as you can see there, use this to set how swim speed is multiplied by level spent in oxygen. The value was reduced by 80% in 256. So, well, 6 seems pretty good to me, but honestly, I don't know with that one. But maybe just put 1 or just keep it default. Get yourself some scuba gear. That's what you need. Modifiers the core. So this one, set that at like 10 if you want your dead body and all your stuff to be there for like 10 hours. I think 2 is an hour. 1's half an hour, so yeah, if you put 10 it'd be there for 5 hours. That again, higher number is better with battery operated objects. This one, it'd be good, might speed the taming up a bit if you put it up, but you'd have to give it more food, so I just left that default. I left that at 2, so when I'm taming something, it speeds it up. If you had that at 10, you need a lot of food, obviously. So that one there is your actual tame creature, so that's the one I was going to change, so actually put that to 0.5. Wild creature starvation, that needs to be 2 because you want them to eat to tame them, so you could put that up even more if you've got the food or the kibble. Wild creature multiplier, talking multiplier, so set that lower if you want when you've knocked out Dino, they'll stay down for longer. This one, when you've tamed a creature, it's just a drain, so you just want it lower, so 0.8. Passive tame interval multiplier, so when you're taming a gorilla or a crystal wyvern, 1 is default, so I'd say to take 8x taming, it'd take about 10 crystals, maybe 12. It's take about 20 minutes at 1, so if you set that down to 0.2 it would be very quick indeed. Right, 0.2. Done that one. Stack size, so that is that stack size, so it just defines the size and how much you get and drops and stuff. Baby multipliers, set this at 5 with the settings I've shown you as. If you want to imprint your dinos like wyverns and stuff, you need it at 5. If you don't have it, if you have it more than 5, I tried a wolf and imprinted it, I was 30 seconds late. So yeah, 5 seems to be a good number, even though it takes a while. It's worth it with the imprint quality. Leave that at 1. That's just how often your babies want to cuddle. 12. Again, you could have whatever you want there, because when you imprint the dino, you could have some ridiculous stats after it. And for all that work, you deserve it, I think. Put that down, decrease that. So if you've left your dino out and it's that time and it wants the care, it just gives you a lot more time to get on and do it still. So 0.2. Again, that's the quality. How you could have that at 0.2 if you wanted no quality to be lost. If you were slow to care for the baby, leave that on 0.5 because you don't want to be feeding them all the time. But you obviously got to look after them. But 0.5 is more than enough. And then this bit is the last section, God, this is taking a while, isn't it? So this sort of stuff is if you have the Unreal Engine and you want to enable it, really. But there are a few things you can put on. You can disable friendly fire on your tribe. Cave damage, you can have that up or down, and then you can actually set so that your players and your dinosaurs can get more, higher levels. Keep going to, I don't know, 105 seems to be what you usually go to, but you could go to like 120, 130 if you change this. Really, if you were to put 100,000 in there, you could literally go to like a very high level, and same for your dinos. You can set a higher timer for your corpse and items, and this, you can do it so that your food and stuff doesn't go off very fast at all. With those, if you set them, obviously because 0's default, so if you set them at like 10, gives you a lot more time. Same with that. Okay, and that is that. And then once you've done that, you need to press save, and then you will need to restart the server for these options to take effect. But yeah, I've had a few servers now, and I must say it is so much better than playing in other people's servers, because you get it how you want it, and it's brilliant, and I highly recommend it, and highly recommend nitrado. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again on the next video. Thank you, bye bye.
Spartan! Predator. What is your profession?